What if at the heart of my fantasy realm, a prosperous kingdom reigned, but its dark secrets were yet to be revealed? Let's design the Kingdom of Emberfall. Hey, I'm Gigi, and I create OC stories and share my process along the way. Let's get into it. Once a kingdom terrorized by a rampant fire mage, now is a prosperous kingdom known widely as a leader in trade. The Kingdom of Emberfall is one of the nations present in 𝑘𝑠ℴ, the world Talismanic my fantasy story takes place in. 𝑘𝑠ℴ is a place where kingdoms, covens, tribes, and other communities live among each other. But this world holds intriguing secrets, and it's only a matter of time before they're revealed. Some of these secrets are prevalent in the Kingdom of Emberfall, but we'll discuss that at the end of this video. We need to talk about world building. What is it, and how do we do it best? World building is the process of writing the necessary background information to help the audience understand the setting of a story. I find it best to focus on the areas with the most value. A good rule to remember is that while your world may be big, your story is relatively small. A good example of this is Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu sorcerers are stated to be primarily in Japan because of increased cursed energy. The necessary background information is tied only to the history of curses and jujutsu techniques in Japan. Anything outside of Japan is stated to exist, but there aren't many details because it's redundant information. Now that we've explained the best approach to world building, I will use this approach in this video. In part 1, I will provide a basic explanation of the government and social classes, as well as Emberfall's industrialization status. In part 2, I will design concepts for major landmarks. In part 3, I will finally explain the in-depth history of Emberfall and the Fire Mage. And lastly, in part 4, I will reveal one of the biggest secrets of Emberfall and its potential curse. There are a lot more details that have been fleshed out for this story already. However, it would make this video way too long. I would love to make a series on creating creatures or mobs for this world, since it is technically a game world. So if you would like to see that, leave a like on this video and comment Creature Corner. Now, let's start with part 1. To the whiteboard. Emberfall is a monarch, so they are ruled by a queen who makes all decisions. The social classes in Emberfall follow a similar pattern to that of actual monarchies. In case you're curious, this is a ranking list of where the current characters of Talismanic sit in the social ladder. After doing some research for time periods, Emberfall is likely around the 18th to early 19th century, aka the 1700s to the early 1800s. In terms of industrialization, this pretty much means that they mainly power things from steam and oil. This means that trains and steamboats exist in this kingdom, but cars do not. It's time for part 2. This is an interactive design section, which means I need your input to help choose the design that becomes canon in this world. So stay alert for when it's time to cast your vote in the comments. The major landmarks in this kingdom include the following: the volcano, aka Mount Lahar, the kingdom itself, and Crimson Falls. Starting with the volcano, I created different versions of its location on the land. Then I created concepts for the actual kingdom's design. It's time to vote. Here are 3 versions of the kingdom. In the comments, cast your vote by letting me know which number is your favorite. Whichever one has the most number of votes will be the design that becomes canon. Now that you've casted your vote, it's time for our last area, Crimson Falls. Now you're probably wondering, what's Crimson Falls? Emberfall actually got its name because Crimson Falls has a very strong tie to its history. Crimson Falls got its name because of the vibrant crimson color of the water itself. This color originates from the red gemstones that line the riverbed. These gemstones have a strong tie to Emberfall's history, but we'll get into that when I talk about Emberfall and the Fire Mage. Before we get to the story, if you like story building and character design, I'm sure you do since you're watching this video, you should join my Discord. Every month starting in February, however, there will be a test run starting in early January. I will host story prompts where you can upload your creations. Basically, every month there will be a prompt for the entire month that you can use to inspire any form of creative endeavors. This can range from comics to cosplaying or even movie making. Your creative submissions will be showcased live on YouTube at the beginning of the following month. So, if you're interested, Join my Discord using the link in the description or this QR code. I have a bunch of other stuff planned on the Discord, and you can also get alerts for when I upload new videos or go live and get some behind the scenes footage of these videos. Now, on to part 3. Part 3, aka your history lesson. But don't worry, I brought pictures. Emberfall is a relatively new kingdom, and a couple of years ago, it made its stamp in the world through the ability to create weapons infused with various fire abilities, using the help of the various gems within the riverbed of Crimson Falls. This prosperity was soon brought to an end when the city encountered a fire mage. At the time, the kingdom was actually unaware that this was a fire mage, as her appearance was divine-like and had many connections to their own god. The kingdom of Emberfall worships the god Hephaestus. Because of this, they welcomed this mage into the kingdom and believed her to be a descendant of their god. However, as time went on, they eventually revealed her true identity as a simple fire mage that was actually banished from her guild after using her powers to harm others for personal gain. After her identity was revealed, the worship and kind reactions that she was once obtaining from this village were gone, and she was not happy. She revolted against the kingdom, threatening to destroy it with an eruption from their volcano. With the threat looming, she was able to reinstate her power and basically gave herself the title of their rightful monarch. Within a year under her rule, a plan was finally devised to take back the kingdom. Using the skills of magical forgery, the blacksmiths of the time worked day and night to create a sword that could somehow beat the odds. As mentioned, all of the swords that had been created in Emberfall all had fire abilities, which wasn't going to do much against a fire mage. Various swords were created in this period before a defect finally emerged. A water sword was created. While this isn't your normal water sword and actually focuses more on boiling your enemies, it gives them a fighting chance. Now all they needed was a hero, and in turn, they received Sebastian and Varian. With the help of volunteers from the townsfolk, the two were able to get a straight shot to the mage's lair, which was near the top of the volcano. With their weapons in hand, the two finally meet the fire mage, now in a state of immense power from her close proximity to fire. A long battle begins as the two fight bravely against the mage, the secret weapon being wielded by Sebastian. As the fight comes to an end, the fire mage falls to her knees, seriously wounded. Using the last of her power, she was able to burn Sebastian's arm in an attempt to gain herself some time. However, she was eventually pushed off the ledge by Varian. The town rejoiced as the magma soldiers fizzled out, converting to magma, rocks, and coal. And the kingdom of Emberfall was free. It's finally time for part 4, the secret and curse. Emberfall's curse is an interesting topic, and the best way to understand it is to discuss the prophecies from the church. Now, these are supposedly rumors, and none of them have actually been confirmed. The most popular prophecy states, "What lies in protection are the components of defeat." While the kingdom argues over what this prophecy might relate to, many believe it potentially concerns the talisman protecting the kingdom. Some even believe that there may be some curse from the fire mage herself. But that can't make sense because she's dead, right?